What's up, guys? Rader Zero here. Looks like we're doing maybe one last day of Reckoning. We're pretty close to the end. We got like one little major area to get through. We have an island for one of our main quests we have to do. So, I mean, we'll kind of see. We got our typical 6-hour run today, so we'll get through whatever we can. If we end up taking the full 6 hours and playing, then cool. If we still have a little bit left over, then we'll finish whatever it is up on Sunday, obviously. I don't think there's enough to cover another 8 hours after this, to be honest. Even if we do a couple of side things we want. So I think it's going to be pretty much today, and then if there's any carryover, it'll be Sunday. But I'm thinking today's going to be the killer for it, and it might not even take the full 6 hours. If it doesn't, then I have a couple ideas of some other stuff we can try out today. Got a laundry list of games I want to play, and I've been looking at playing for a while now, so I'm interested in that. So we'll kind of see where that goes, and then you know, we will figure that out, and we'll go from there. So other than that, we got a good stream coming up, and I hope everyone's having a great day, and we'll run through this ending. It's been great. I'm glad we're, getting through it, and I'm definitely glad that we're near the end. It's been a long journey. It's been fun. So let's get into it. Fix a minor issue I'm having. Oh, technical issues. What are you gonna do? Okay, so we're going to start today's adventure with doing the main quest, or I should say a particular part of the main quest. Yeah, we're supposed to be going to meet Ventrinio, who apparently was around when we died the first time. So this will be an interesting, hopefully, an interesting piece of story. I'm definitely interested in finding out how we died and why we died the first time.
Make it quick. This island is a perfection.
I like the idea of the island being a version. I knew it. Figured this would be the little island we were on. Let's go.
I hope you're ready for this.
Yeah.
I believe our new... This island smells like death. Stay behind me. Whatever that gnome's been up to, it looks like he's made a few enemies.
Are these more Sons of Laz? Yep. You definitely feel like an all-powerful individual in this game, because even if I wasn't as maxed out as I am on certain stats, you always take out everything easily compared to the people you fight with, like your allies / sidekicks, whatever you want to call them. They usually end up sucking and not even taking out one character when you have to take out a bunch. Also, and I may still be wrong, but I thought this was like an actual, island, almost like Eamon's Island, where it was like an actual area of stuff that took more than 3 seconds to walk through. I could be wrong. I do like the coastal waves and stuff as they did, especially for the time. They did a good job on making this look pretty cool. No, so far it just looks like this one castle.
Just as Hughes thought, Ventrinio used the same wards from their old lab. This'll be quick. Follow me and be careful. The Laz are coming from somewhere in here.
Oh. Star Tower. Yeah, I guess there's not a map icon for it. That's like the other island we were on, there wasn't a map icon for that either, so no big. Just an odd occurrence.
From the Well of Souls is overwhelming. Damn it! That's wrong. And why are there so many Laz?
That's Laz's kiss. Minus 100% bleeding resistance. So, if we have any bleeding resistance, we definitely don't now.
Sounds like our rat is caught in a trap. I'm sure he'd be happy to help whoever saves him.
Why did you run through that? I don't know what that is, but it doesn't look natural. Anyone else here?
Careful, or we'll get trapped up there too. Here's where we part ways. I'll stop the Laz at the stairwell. You get upstairs and retrieve Ventrinio.
I mean, I guess. I hear something sneaky sounding almost.
Shouldn't be hard to find him. Keep moving up and follow the cowardly shrieking.
That I can do. Let's go.
Hold this staircase. Move!
You know me, I can pull all the levers.
A new source of power? What sort of nonsense is this? If anything had come in here, my detection spells would have... Wait. Who's down there? Show yourself.
Laz remains. The well does a passable job of recreating a subject's flesh and sinew, but I'm having a monstrous time properly catching the departed's essence. Early success back in Sawwell are proving difficult to reproduce, although I can't be sure if it's a result of more powerful magical root sources, or any of the dozens of other problems that came with the shoddy construction of this damn tower. Our best results come out as little more than sons of Laz, yes, like in the old rhyme. These ex-soldiers shamble and moan much like other unfortunates who have borne that crude epitaph. But rather than a result of inebriation or insanity, these half-dead beasts simply don't have a functional mind in their skull, or perhaps are missing a soul in their hearts, or spleens, or wherever the damn things are supposed to be. Further testing is required. At least they keep the locals away, and they feed themselves, often on each other. That's creepy and unfortunate. That sound is creepy and unfortunate. Sounds like a snake like sounds like slithery. Slithery, Slytherin. I'm a snake, a sneaky, sneaky snake. Slither, slither.
Damn it all! I don't care who you are. Get up here. Must be the key to stabilizing you.
To stabilize well. V, allow me to express my deepest regret for the forum's verdict in your imminent sentence. Believe me that I argued most stringently on your behalf, and not merely because I had invested in the work of you and your colleague, Mr. Hughes. I think we both agree that in the pursuit of science, we must forgive minor missteps when they are followed by great leaps. But alas, my colleagues still hold quite provincial views on the subject of necromancy, however you want to pronounce it. And so your fate was sealed, but perhaps there's another way. Tomorrow morning, your executioner will arrive to escort you from your cell. But after a small donation, I have seen to it that you shall be delivered not to your eternal rest, but to a discreet caravan outside of Odessa. From there, a moderate price has seen to it that you and certain sets of your notes, salvaged from the evidence against you, shall be delivered to Clericon, where a truly monumental price has been paid to construct a new laboratory for your work and a discreet location. I trust you appreciate the depth of my investment in your work, just as I trust that it shall return a grand dividend to your one and only investor. Oh, short for Octane, I'm sure. Talk about spooky season. Dealing with zombies. Good way to start a stream. Zombies. Like it. We could do this at the beginning of the game. It's fun. I still don't know why.
This is what I get for using all those soldiers. I never should have let them keep their swords.
down for the count. Like, doesn't that sound as creepy? The Chamber of Secrets up in here.
When you get up here, try not to look directly into the well. It can be a little upsetting.
Can I not drop this one? This place looks awful. What'd you do to it? There's like stuff growing out of the walls.
Damn it! Hurry!
Bridge.
Before the whole well starts to collapse.
The new assistant. Okay. Octane, you old fiend. I don't know when you found this new assistant, but he's an absolute godsend. I may have expressed doubts when you said a single helper could take the place of an experienced lab staff, but he's proven more than capable in every area. Lab work, resource collection, even repelling any Fae curious enough to come to the tower. In every instance, he's met every challenge with a steely-eyed flair. Tried asking how he got his remarkable training, but he's loath to talk about his past. In fact, even casual inquiries are rebuffed with no small degree of menace. I know you paid a fortune to hire him from whatever sources you use. Are you absolutely certain that he can be trusted? Still, it is a moot point. I'd hardly be able to continue my work without the help of this marvelous assistant. So much so, in fact, that I've taken the liberty of attuning him to the well's core, so just in case the worst does happen to him, there's a chance I could bring him back for future work. Even if he came back as a simple lass, he'd surely be twice as skilled as a normal man. I think he's talking about me. We've got so many master potions at this point, I might as well just keep them and get rid of the other ones. I might actually do that.
Took your time, gods damn it! Ever since the Balor was defeated, the chaos magic sent the well off its alignment. You show up, and now the Laz are... Wait, what? It's you. You're alive. But I saw you die.
Who are you?
I'm Ventrinia, of course. Don't you remember me? You were my assistant here at the Well of Souls. You were going to help me change the world. But of course, that was before you died.
What do you know about my death?
It was terrible. You were the best assistant I ever had. Who else could have helped me get into Alabastra? Who else had that ambition? We got more than enough Prismere, but you wanted to track down the power source, even if it meant sneaking right onto Gadflow's nose. I spent days trying to recover your body. But I never expected to find you alive, or for you to return. Speaking of which, how did you return anyway?
I died in Alabastra.
Of course you did. We went there to steal Prismere to power the well. And you wanted to go after the source of the Prismere itself. You went off, geared for war, sneaking into Baal itself. You damned fool! I had a better chance of bringing you back from the dead than I had of changing your mind. But I wasn't able to do either.
Hughes brought me back.
What? That's impossible. You were attuned at this well. You've never even set foot in his lab. Ha! Hughes is a joke. He doesn't have the stomach for this work. Don't try waking the dead if you're not ready to make a few corpses, I say. But the well is coming down around us. Quick! I've got to slow the energy and shut this thing down. And don't... Oh, damn it all! Here they come! Hold them off! The lads are here! Hold them off while I try to stop the flow of energy to the well.
Why are you helping me fight if you're supposed to be attuning the well or whatever?
Ignore the rumbling. Focus on the lads.
Don't like how they're not showing them on the map. That kind of sucks.
There. Perfectly safe. I think.
There's some guy. Would've been cool if he died. I wasn't done looting corpses either.
Talk with this old fool before I lose my temper.
All my work gone. Damn it all! But at least we're still alive. Once again, I triumph over death itself.
Can you help us get into Alabastra?
Going back into Alabastra. Well, I still have a way in, but it's more dangerous now than the last time we went. I'll need more Prismere if I'm to rebuild the well. And I suppose I owe you something for saving my life. Perhaps this talisman can help you. It's a little something I salvaged from the debris. It might just help against whatever killed you the first time.
Soul lens. How do you get into Alabastra?
We got in with a little help, of course. See, it's all because of Callus Dren, the defender of pride. In his house, no one can stand before him. None can even approach, unless you have my little secret.
What's your secret?
Patience, patience. You'll have it soon enough. I'm going to have to dig it out of the rubble of the tower. Go to the field of Huber, and I'll meet you there. And if you value your life, do not approach Dren.
You're a weird dude with a whole crap ton of speaking thingies. Tell me more about it, guy.
I know the type. Lucky youth, peaked early, then crawled into a bottle and waited to die. I'm impressed you dragged him away from that bottle, but I wouldn't expect him to do any heavy thinking.
What about Aelin?
You mean your deadly little shadow? I know her type. All smiles now, but it's just so she can get close enough to stick her knives in you.
In the Danister?
After an unfortunate incident with the Templars, Octian decided to move my work someplace a little further from the public eye. We both felt that an island in another land behind the front lines of a war might just be far enough from prying eyes.
Dren?
Dren, defender of pride. One of twin defenders, quite powerful in their homes. But did you know they were also entirely immune to each other's powers? And it seems the defender of valor quite disappeared when her house fell. Imagine how useful she would have been if she were here today. You don't remember it? Well, why dredge up the past? After all, you're fine now, aren't you? You're not the type to hold a grudge, right?
I just need to know who I was.
You were my assistant in the well, and a damned good one at that. Octian hired you personally, said you were especially resourceful, and left it at that. I didn't know anything about you before you worked for me, and I knew better than to ask.
Do you remember anything?
You didn't like talking about yourself. Actually, you didn't like much of anything. Honestly, you were a terror to be around. But you've changed. I can tell. Before you died, you would never have been this diplomatic. You probably would have knifed me for answers by now. Oh, speaking of which, you left this in your room before you died. Take it, take it.
No. It's the end of the elixir. We had that multiple times before. Many times. What about death in general?
We were in Alabastra, and I never thought it'd be dangerous. At least, not very. Oh, don't give me that look. Accidents happen. You can't make an omelette without leaving a few corpses.
Death?
Fine. We were collecting Prismere and Alabastra. We needed it to power the well, of course, and you got a wild idea to track down the source of the power. I tried to stop you. I really did. But you decided to sneak into Amethyst, and I wasn't about to get killed along with you. I spent days trying to get your corpse back, but to no avail. Much as I hate to admit it, I should thank Hughes for succeeding where I failed. Simple bone soldiers, easy enough for any decent mage to build and animate. They're not really alive any more than a puppet is.
What about Gadflow?
Gadflow's got an empire built on Prismere. Think of all the power he's sitting on. And he's wasting it on swords and bows.
Now spread.
Arrogant fools, all of them. At least we could sneak past them when they were overconfident. Now that the army's at their gate, they'll be watching for us.
What about the last?
Partial successes at best. They remember how to fight, but that's about all they're good for. Name them after an old nursery rhyme. Damn things are always moaning all the time. I thought it might shut them up to give them a name.
Hughes?
He wasn't fit to hold my crucible, much less carry on my work. He could barely even stand to cut open a warm corpse for study. I can't imagine the reason you came back in his well instead of mine. Probably some freak attunement transfer.
What about the Clericon?
A horrible, messy, ugly place. Too dark to keep bodies preserved and too hot to keep them from stinking. Oh, to be back in a cave in Datir.
What about your old boss, Octian?
We needed tremendous quantities of Prismere to fuel the well, but it's almost unheard of outside of Alabastra, so we had to sneak in to gather our own.
Now your old boss.
Octian, the man lacked vision. Can you believe all he wanted was his own personal immortality machine? Such a narrow-minded goal for a Templar. Still, he wasn't squeamish about what had to be done in order to develop the well. I suppose he paid well, too, if you'd consider that any reason to pursue the sciences.
Some people do. What's your story?
My name is Ventrinio Dessalini, and I am Professor Emeritus Abscondus of Post-Mortem Studies at the Edessa University. Of course, that was all before I began work on the Well of Souls. Such an important undertaking doesn't leave much time for other pursuits, you know.
I can understand that. What about the Well of Souls?
The Well of Souls is a noble project. Yes, sacrifices have been made. Laws have been broken. People have died. And they will continue to die. Don't you see? That's exactly what I'm trying to prevent. How many have died in this war? Thousands. The bodies are shoulder deep in the battlefields, but for trying to cure it, they call me a monster?
What can I do to help?
Just go to the field of Huber and wait for me. I'll meet you down there once I can find this damned essence.
Sounds like a plan.
Get going. And remember, don't go near Dread until I get there.
I'm sure we can trust Ventrinio, but I'll keep an eye on him.
We know the sun's the last.
Mindless soldiers who fight without thoughts. Really just wild magic moving a corpse around.
Ooh. And Dren?
Sidon says the barrier into Alabastra is the result of a fae named Dren, the defender of pride. Or so they say. All I know is that everyone who walks into that barrier falls to their knees and gets cut down if they don't get pulled back out. Everyone except Ventrinio.
What about House of Pride?
The House of Pride is a gateway to Alabastra. Until we can find a way through it, Gadflow can send his soldiers through.
What can I do to help?
I'll stay here and keep an eye on Ventrinio. We'll meet you at the field of Huber, to the south.
Sounds good to me.
We fought into Alabastra once.
Except now I need a healer. Wonder where one is.
Hopeless.
They give me some kind of shield that's useless. And an accessory that's mostly useless. Oh. Supposedly a healer right over here. I knew there was someone to buy from, but I didn't realize there was a healer.
What is it?
Well, I expected to see a lot of things out here in Caelid, but not the hero of Melsenshire. What brings you this far south? I am Sergeant Odai, twice decorated officer and now civilian escort. I guess you could say that I'm really working my way up the chain of command.
Not a healer? Kind of escort.
I have allowed 2 citizens to travel within my unit, which I probably should not do. But I have a weakness for those in need. Guess it comes from my past as a healer. Oh, Brune the Bard is not so bad. I actually knew him as a kid, if you can believe that. He's a little excitable, but harmless. I cannot say the same about Alof the Hunter. Strange sort, that one. He insists on staying outside our camp. Says we stand in the way of his quarry. To each his own.
He did. Tell me more about you.
No one has called me by my given name in years. I'm just Sergeant now. Been that way for a long while. I used to be a healer, but lost my gifts when the war came. Something about all the carnage, the death, it bled the magic right out of me. So I took up a sword. It was all I could do. We all need to carry our own weight in this tragedy, and mine is to fight.
We know about the coast.
Oh, I never should have ended up here. My family's ship was tossed into the cliffs during a storm, and I was the only survivor. The Ancillas saved me. They raised me as one of their own. I may not be native to these lands, but they are the closest thing I've ever had to a home. Goodbye.
You can't heal me. That's what
If
you're
you
saying.
need anything, just say the word. Farewell.
You suck.
Trust
Hi
me,
there.
that I heard a rumor that the gas steer air...